Ariki Food Forest is a gathering of passionate gardeners. Ariki, the Ariki of our waters, ancient waters all coming together to maintain ancient sovereignty.
It started with a group of us doing a horticulture known as a Sustainable Rural Development course. Got big gardens in. As we progressed through the course, we started looking across the road at this area of vacant council ground, and we thought, well, why don't we start planting it out?
50-50 mix of malt vinegar and treacle. For one to understand their natural environment, we have 4 seasons in the Pākehā world, and we have 12 seasons in the Māori world, if not more. Being one with nature is where you're going to get a lot of your knowledge from. So that'll be knowledge of flowers springing up out of the ground, the insects and bugs coming around, and when you see all those sort of things coming through the seasons, you start realising these things as environmental indicators.
So hopefully it's growing quite good and strong. Plants is a really good rootstock for a lot of things. I think it's really important to look at what you have on site to start with, whether there's been a previous garden, compost heap. Look at where your sun positions are, shade positions to see if you've got water. And if you're going to plant by the moon, then work out what you want to plant, how you're going to plant it, and when is a good time to put it in. There's a lot of different guides you can get with different foods, but basically decide what foods you want to grow and look at what seasons they're going to do best in and when is a good time to plant.
The role that tikanga plays here is quite significant in the sense of krakia. As part of tikanga is that ritual, opens our day up, and of course closing the day off. How important that part of tikanga, kawa, that's so important to us. Awhiri matia, a atua of the forewinds, and as you feel the nice breeze, and because we as man were thinking, oh chair, that's nice and cool, but it also helps the miri the leaves of the trees. You feel it, and you know, with haumia tika and rongomatane, with our native trees and of course our cultivated stuff. There's Rua Omoko, which is kind to us too. He's here with his mum, so they're all part of it, and they all play a huge part of the environment.
Y262, personally, it's a corporate grab on our natural resources, and this is why we have the Latin words for our plants, our birds, our insects and things like that, because under the treaty they weren't allowed to use our common names. So because of the trade through the treaty, the European or the Crown had to come in and make up new names through the Latin names to create that trade through our natural resources. So as tangata whenua, working with the natural resources, it's our claim as rangatira, as kaitiaki, to look after those for our people.
Time of Te Tahi Wehewe, as it's usually the last month of the Maramataka, time of harvesting and all that, just before. For us, Matariki is important in the sense, the bounty of the harvest, we're going to celebrate it, we're going to acknowledge it by ke hangi ai wetahi ngā kai, like opening the garden like our old people. The state of kumura at that time is still under sacredness or tapu. And then we hangi it to free it from that. Every year we acknowledge that, to have a dawn ceremony, to see the stars, to talk about the 9 stars, the harvesting that we've had, the bounty, hangi it. It's just bringing people together to celebrate and talking about these plants and the stuff that a lot of people don't know, the importance of growing your own. That's what we do here.